Carroll County, a predominantly white working-class area in rural Maryland, is one of the state's most conservative places, with 66% of voters voting for Mitt Romney in 2012. We're here in the county's legislative seat, the town of Westminster, to talk to potential voters about Tuesday's primaries, where Clinton and Trump hold significant leads in the polls.
I'm going to be voting for Trump. Look, we gave the Republicans the House, we gave them the Senate. Not a damn thing changed when we gave the Republicans everything they needed. So this is the Republicans' last chance. If they do it to us again, you can pretty much kiss the Republican Party goodbye, because I will change my affiliation if that happens.
I like that he did not collect any money from anyone. I think that's the best thing that could ever happen, because he owes nothing to nobody. You know what? If this turns out that Trump doesn't get it because they are scared of him, I'll go independent. I've been a Republican since I was 18 and I'm 69 years old. I'll bail out on him and be an independent.
Denny and Linda were the only two Trump supporters that talked to us on camera. We spoke to many others who either spoke off the record or not at all. The only Clinton supporters we spoke to had migrated over from the Bernie Sanders camp, not on the issue of electability or effectiveness, but on Israel.
We moved from Brooklyn.
New York, New York, not Baltimore.
Originally, I thought Bernie Sanders would be my selection, but the more I hear about his attitude towards the state of Israel, I find that it is in very diametrically opposed to my position with regard to the state of Israel. I have family there. And so at this point, I am going to be voting for Hillary Clinton.
And Bernie can't release his tax forms.
Because he can't find them?
He can't find them. That's a little strange, I think. Oh, a little bit strange. But the actuality is that Hillary, no matter what you say, she definitely knows how to deal with government. She knows how to deal with Congress, which is a big issue. You can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to change it. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes to make any changes.
I know that Bernie's kind of the captain save them all at this point, but not really sure who I'm going to vote for.
Dominique Wilson, a teacher at Winter's Mill who holds 2 other jobs, is a registered Democrat, but says that none of the other candidates this election cycle really appeal to her, something many others told us as well.
I'm not sure. I really don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to vote American. Don't be mad at me. That's it. I don't know. I've lived here for 20 years. I'm a product of Carroll County. Go Wintersville! But it's very different. It's either you're with it or you're not with it.
What does that mean?
Either you are for the rules or you're for the people at this point. Either you're going to support the Commonwealth, people that are trying to work hard. A lot of us have 2-3 jobs just to support and live here.
What do you do?
I work at Winter's Mill. I'm a farm tech, and I also work at Old Navy. So I'm one of those people that are working in the trenches. I work in Carroll County Public Schools, and I'm not going to speak for or against it, but a lot of us really do have to struggle on a day-to-day basis to pay our bills because they won't give a raise.
Republican voters here who dominate the county, whether they supported Cruz, Trump, or Kasich, said the same thing about the Democratic Party, that it's a party that falsely advertises free social programs like health care and schooling, only as a ploy to sway voters to their side. There is no such thing as free services, they say.
Who are you going to vote for tomorrow in the primary?
John Kasich.
And why is that?
Because he's the best fit for our country, and I'm not a Trump supporter. So he talks about helping people instead of talking about deporting and banning people. He's just positive and good person. I don't see anything wrong with him.
So why not Clinton or Sanders?
I'm just not a Democrat. I mean, I don't think everything should be free, and I don't trust Clinton. So
Democrats, Republicans, they have robbed for their spending and taken away from us, right? And never paid it back. Run it like a business. Pay it back. You want to borrow it, you pay it back, because it's really embezzling our money.
Democratic side is nothing's for free, buddy. Somebody down the line's going to pay for it. Who's going to end up paying for it? The poor little middle guy. The guy that pays for everything that these people have in this country comes from the little guy. It ain't for the big rich people. They got accountants and stuff that can get them out of paying their taxes. But us little guys, we're going to pay our taxes. We're going to pay our fines, our dues. And it's very tough because no matter how much money you make, somebody's always got their hand out. You know, it costs you more to do anything. I don't care what you do. It costs more to do it. Every time you turn around, somebody's raising a fee. They're going to tax this. They're going to do that. You know, look at your cell phone bill. Your cell phone bill has 4 or 5 different taxes on it now. You know, and it's like $4 or $5 every bill that's just wasted taxes. The 911 now used to be 10 cents when they started that. Now it's $1. The federal government gets $1, and then the state gets $1 for the 911 service. What the hell? You know, that's just wasting money. You know, something started at 10 cents. How did it get to $1? You know, because they seen a way they could raise taxes. Because if they jump it up a couple cents at a time, nobody cries and whines about it. But then after a couple years, you look and now it's up to $1 now.
In recent years, the heroin epidemic has taken a violent toll on places like Carroll County, where manufacturing and proper wages have been sapped from the economy.
I wouldn't even say crime has come up, but there's no sense of community here. There's no sense of what are we going to do for the future generations that are coming up. A lot of my students don't even know what they're going to do after they graduate.
They say there's a big heroin epidemic right here. Now, personally, I don't know that. I don't get out in that crowd, but that's all you hear about. A lot of drug issues, you know, a lot of heroin overdoses and stuff. I know by reading the paper, it's up higher than it's been in years, you know what I mean? Because they're getting these people all hooked on all these pills and medication, and when they run out, what do? They go out and buy the heroin because it's cheaper. They can get the same effect, and that's what happens. Then they end up dying of drug overdoses.
Drugs is an outlet. They're unhappy. If you're unhappy, people do, whether it's drinking, whether it's drugs, whether it's addiction to shopping, when they don't have the money, but they'll do it anyway. You try to find happiness in all different ways. And of course, with people being out of work, people need to work. They have to have jobs. They have to make a living. They have to support their family. And so in turn, they'll go to other things. And that's where the vultures of these druggies and dealers and coming into this country. And of course, if you don't tighten the borders, you're not going to, are you?
In a town where 10% of people live below the poverty line, and where the use of food stamps has increased 108% from 2013 to 2014, where drug use is rampant, and where undocumented immigrants are replacing traditional unionized labor, many Republican voters here are convinced that Washington has bred a culture of dependency, and they're tired of having to pay for it. For The Real News, Thomas Hedges, Westminster, Maryland.